Body bags where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Body Bags. It's week 191, and I'm your Sunday host, dbougie86, welcoming you back to our special theme week of psychological horror. And yes, I'm here to round out the week again. I actually did a film review on Thursday, so you get a double dose of me this week, guys. Oh yeah, I know you guys are psyched about that. But the film I chose for you guys today is actually a film that was very interesting when I was hearing about it and learning about it when it was first announced to be released here in the States. Pretty much this is a British film that was known for the longest time as a lost film. It went into the Cannes Film Festival, and then it went kind of into obscurity after that. No one was talking about it, and no one was re-releasing it. And pretty much what they thought was the film negative was lost, and pretty much the only way you could actually see this film back in the day was through the gray market of like bootlegs. And that was until, of course, the good peeps at the British Film Institute actually found the negative and decided to restore it. And they released it over there in the UK, the BFI, and over here in the US, Mondo Macabro, of course, one of my favorite labels of all time, released it here in the States for its US debut, and it's known as Symptoms. Yes. If you don't know about this film is directed by Jose Ramon Larraz, of course. Very interesting director, I'd say. He has a very distinctive filmography. His most notable films, probably Vampires, the 1970s, Euro Sleaze, Vampire Tale, which was actually remade last year. And another film that he's most notably known for is Black Candles, yes. The film about the occult. Very interesting and very sleazy film also. So, with that being known, I'll get more into my thoughts later on this. But this film stars Angela Pleasence, yes. If you don't know who she is, of course, she's the daughter of famed horror icon and actor Donald Pleasence, of course, Dr. Loomis from Halloween himself. And this film also stars Peter Vaughan, of course, the late, great Peter Vaughan. Great character actor. I know him from films like Death at a Funeral, the Frank Oz film, where he plays a fucking hilarious role. If you haven't seen that, it's not really a horror film, but it's just like a comedy that's very dark and humor because it takes place at a funeral. And of course, he also starred on Game of Thrones, which was one of the last gigs that I think he did before he passed away. And pretty much the main plot is when we're introduced to Angela Pleasence's character of Helen Ramsey, who's this ailment girl who actually we meet, and we find out that she was in London for a long time because she had like some sort of sickness that we don't know what it was, to be honest. They don't really explain what was wrong with her. But she ends up going back to her countryside house where she lived, and she invites her friend Anne to stay with her for a few nights. And once Anne gets there, a lot of strange things start happening. Around the house, there's this image of this girl that's portraits everywhere around the house, and we find out this girl was Cora, who's also a friend of Helen before. And Helen just says she hasn't been around for a while, pretty much. And late in the night, we hear Helen's hearing weird noises and hearing things. And we're introduced to Peter Vaughan's character, Brady, who's like the groundskeeper of this estate. And there's some like weird, like odd things that happen between Helen's character and Brady, where she says that he discusses her, and it's kind of like this weird off-putting relationship between them. And Anne is starting to wonder what is going on and worrying about Helen, but then Anne actually starts hearing noises too. So it's pretty much the mystery. Anne is trying to figure out if the house is really something's up with it, or if there's something up with Helen and she's keeping a secret from her. That is pretty much the main plot. I just without going too crazy into it. Now, my thoughts on this film, from the opening shots of this, it's very exquisitely beautiful. If you've ever seen Jose Ramon Larraz's Vampires, it's definitely not a film for everyone. It does have some great atmosphere though, and great shots, and he brings like that atmospheric shots to this film. And another interesting thing that I noticed about it was there was no sleaze in this film, because I noticed like the films previous that I've seen by this director had a lot of sleaze in it. And I was very shocked that this one was a different type of film. It did kind of have some like overtones that suggested things, but it wasn't overly sleazy, because this film is very slow burnish. It has like a very slow burn atmosphere, and it doesn't force feed the story to you. It builds up to it and lets you know what's going on with its characters and the conversations that the characters have within the film. And it's notably more like a thriller type, like a story. It's not really a full-blown horror film in my opinion, this film, but it's mesmerizing to look at, and it's just disturbing and creepy at the same time, especially with the amazing performance by Angela Pleasence in this film. I gotta say it, Angela Pleasence is one of those women that has like this very interesting vibey look to her, because one moment is where she's like very elegant and mystifying in her looks, but then in some moments she's very creepy like, and it builds off her looks because she does look like her father, Donald Pleasence. Not that that's a bad thing, it works for her benefit in films, and especially the films I've seen her in, like The Godsend and From Beyond the Grave, which she actually starred with her dad beforehand. It works for her benefit because she has like that creepy look to her, and it works for her performance. And I gotta say, her performance in this is one of the best performances I've seen in a film, period. She's exuberant in her role of this woman that has this mystery past before her, and the way her character transforms within the film is mesmerizing, haunting at the same time. And I really like the supporting cast, because there's not really a lot of characters in this film also, because we pretty much have like Brady and Anne, who's also, what's the name of the actress? Lorna Heilbron, who does a very terrific job in her role too. And her character has a lot of like secret like character development traits also, as she's trying to find out the mystery of what's going on with Helen throughout the film. And we learn some things about her as the film progresses too, like little notable things, but we learn them. And there's some like side characters that come and go into the plot, and they're important too, and I like their interaction because we learn certain things as the story progresses about the story that's happening and unfolding also, which I really dug about this film. And just the atmosphere and the musical score is very haunting and beautiful and just terrific. I highly enjoyed this film, guys. It's a awesome film. If I had to rate Symptoms, I'm giving a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's just a stellar masterpiece that I'm glad that companies like the BFI and Mondo Macabro find these like obscure like gems and release them for the audience. And I'm glad I got the chance to see this film and review it for you guys, because it's a film that I think will be appreciated, and the way that its characters and acting. If you're not into those like slow burners, this one is very slow, though, I might add. That's why I'm kind of like, I do recommend it, but if you don't like it, it's perfectly okay. Just this is slow burness. I know a lot of people, some people are not into that type of deal, but I love slow burn films with a terrific story, and this one story is terrific and mesmerizing with its characters and acting. Great atmospheric cinematography, great direction by Laraz, great performances, just great everything. Awesome film, 9.5 out of 10 for Symptoms. Highly recommended, guys. Alright guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll be back next week with another one for you guys. Peace out.